Hello boys and girls. Today we are going to continue doing something with our tube monsters. So we are going to use observational drawing skills, which means that you are observing and looking at something and drawing from that. So I'm going to put this upright so I can see it a little better. But we're all going to start with the basic form. Remember, we're going to do it on our sketch paper, which is paper that always has something on the back. And you are going to draw a stretched out oval. From that oval, you are going to draw at the edges of the oval 2 parallel straight lines. I'm going to make this big because I want it to fill in most of my paper. Last step is you are going to connect these 2 parallel straight lines with a curved line. So there you have drawn a 3D cylinder form. It's not a shape now because it's 3D, so now it's a form. And you're going to add in the details of your monster so that you have a drawing of your monster on here. So I'm going to draw my eyes. Now my teeth here are over top of the red. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase these lines on the inside because you can't see through the red here. You can only see the green or the yellow-green of the teeth over top of it. Okay, I have my tube monster drawn on here. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to move it to my final copy. Okay, there we go. I have my monster all drawn now. I'm going to outline in Sharpie and erase my pencil line. Okay, now you are going to paint in your outlined monster. So, I am only giving you primary colors and 2 neutral colors. Can anybody remember what the primary colors are? There are 3 primary colors, and they are the colors that you can mix to make any color. So one of the primary colors is yellow, and if I mix yellow with red, which is another primary color, I get what color? That's right, orange. Okay, I'm going to clean my paintbrush. Now, we have 2 primary colors that we know. We know yellow and red, so the last primary color, if I take yellow, which is a primary color, and mix it with blue, which is another primary color, I make what color, which is a secondary color? Green. Now, I'm going to take my other 2 primary colors, so my red, and mix it with some blue to get, let's add a little more blue, violet. So these 3, blue, red, and yellow, are my primary colors. You can make any color with them. Now, if I want to make my colors a little lighter, I'm going to add white to make a tint of that violet. Now, if I want to make a color a little darker, I can add black to it to make a shade. You don't want to add too much black because black overpowers very quickly. So I'm going to add some black to my orange to make a shade of orange, which orange, when you add black to it, starts to turn brown. So you are going to make whatever type of color you want so that it matches your monster. You can even add some black to a tint to make it a little darker of a tint. So when you are painting this in, you're going to paint in your lines. You are not using random colors. You are using colors that you used on your monster. So I shouldn't have blue eyes. I should have yellow eyes. I should have red lips, greenish yellow teeth. So I'm going to have to mix that. Brown and white. So whatever color you don't have on here, you're going to have to mix to create your monster. Now, smaller brushes might work better in some areas than others, so this is all about you learning how to mix these colors and making sure that you're using the right paint. If you have white, you don't necessarily need to paint that in white because that's not going to really show up on the white paper. You can leave that white. But right now, I'm going to paint in my eyebrows. It sometimes helps if you outline first and then fill in the spaces. It's whatever works best for you, but you want to fill in most of those white spaces. You don't need to clean your brush in between using the same color. but you should be cleaning your brush in between switching colors so you're not mixing this paint up for your friends. And also, when we're cleaning our paintbrush, you swirl it around 3 times and then wipe and flip it over and wipe the other side. So 1, 2, 3, wipe, wipe. You don't hear any of this. That's not allowed. So have fun painting, boys and girls, and let's see how this turns out. Now when you're mixing a color, you have extra spots on your tray that you can mix the color, or you can mix it right on the paper. Try not to mix too much up on your tray because remember your friends want to use this as well. And if you're mixing a color, make sure you mix enough of it together that you have enough to paint whatever it is that you want to paint. For example, if I was painting the whole background with this green that I just made, that probably wouldn't be enough for me to paint the whole background, and I'd probably have to go back and try to mix the same color, but it's really hard to mix the same color unless you're like measuring it exactly, which we're not. Okay, once you're done painting your monster, you can do a design in the background or paint it one solid color. Make sure whatever design or painting you do in the background does not compete with the monster, that your monster really kind of starts hiding or blending in, like camouflaging in with your background. We don't want that to happen. I'm going to mix some red and blue to make my secondary color violet, and then I'm going to paint my whole background violet. I'm going to turn this in. Please, boys and girls, before you turn it in, make sure your name's on there. Otherwise, how am I going to know whose it is? So I'm just going to go ahead and paint this whole thing in now. Have fun, boys and girls, and good luck.